What is up, guys? Little update. Not too long down the road, maybe an hour or two from my last video. But, whoa. Anyways, this is kind of what we're dealing with. And as you can see, these two joists right here actually come out to the edge. And then a rim joist was placed right in there, and you can kind of see the remnants of where it used to be. You can see the nails where it used to be nailed, and it's just completely gone. It's just rotten. This is partially from water damage, and you can see how easily it just falls apart. And it also, and yeah, that's the inside of the house right there. So great, isn't it? Look at this. And you can just peel this off, and it's like, feels like cardboard. You kind of got an issue. So I can literally pull these nails out with my hand. As you can see, there's a stud right there, and I missed one of the things. This is a masonry hanger. And what it does is they go in between those bricks. And I didn't take all the way down over there because there's some thorn bushes over there I didn't want to get into. But a lot of this on the outside, let's see if I can zoom out. Well, I can't really zoom out anyway. But a lot of this, it's just all going to come out. So basically, I'm going to scribe a line with a chalk box. And basically I'm going to circular saw all this off up to a certain point. At some point, not today. It's actually getting dark and gloomy. But as for right now, what I'm going to do is just cover this up with some plastic. But you can just see, look at this damage. This is termite damage. You can see the termite damage in here. And then also a lot of this is water rot. There's underneath, that's the crawl space, and that's literally all the room down there for the crawl space. And the joists, actually, some of them, that one is horrendous. Look at it. So, cut away the bad, replace with good. You may have to jack up the house in order to do that, but of course we will have to do that. But this is where I'm at now. See, I've got my blocks destroyed. They're all over the place, of course, because I don't really have a place to put them. I didn't bring the truck. But a lot of this is water damage, and where it comes from is an improper drip edge in between where the bricks were actually placed. And then the water gets down in there, and then also termites did their due diligence. And there you see a pill bug, or roly-poly. I'm not even sure what those are called anymore. But as you can see, the termites, they follow their way up these. These are 1x12, and let's just say they were 1x12. So what I'm going to do right now is probably grab my circular saw, and there's a sheet of plywood over here. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. But as for the major holes and discrepancies in the wall, I'm going to go ahead and grab just some scrap wood, and what I'll do is I'll actually screw that up so that the house isn't basically just leaking, filtering water or air and water in there. And then I have some plastic that for a temporary barrier, which is right here. This is 100 foot, and I believe that when you unfold this, it's 20 feet is what it's supposed to be. So it's 100 foot long at 20 foot wide. So what I'm going to do is actually just measure this and then I'll just do it in different strips. But as you can see from inside the house, we just have complete exposed areas. And when I got into this house and I was looking through the sheetrock and all the different structural damage, I was not expecting this right here. But this is actually where I started. As you can see, I took my rigid oscillating saw and I cut away the sill plate because I was going to start replacing it piece by piece. But then I looked underneath and realized there was no rim joist. The rim joist was gone. And so that's what started this whole thing. And yes, this is not a doorway. This is actually where the wall was supposed to be. And another thing is, on the back, the drywall, you can see there's like roach poop or whatever. Just various bugs. But you can see the holes. You can see these multiple holes. Well, that's no good. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm gonna cover up the majority of what I can with what I have. I don't actually have that much material right now. Not really anything, just kind of scrap laying around. And then cover it up with plastic for now until we can get, like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chalk line me out a line. I'm just going to take my circular saw and run it down there and just remove all of that rotten shit and then replace everything that's rotten, including the rim joist. As you can see, the rim joist is gone, but some of the floor joists are still intact. This one right here is intact, but as you can see, the sill plate is almost entirely gone. So that requires getting under the house and jacking up floor joists, replacing the sill plate, and then further going up the wall, there's another sill plate, which is your wall sill plate. I don't know if that's called something different. Don't quote me, don't, whatever, I don't know. I only know what I'm doing. And hopefully it doesn't keep going past this point. It seems like a lot of the water damage kind of goes down this board right here. Hopefully it doesn't go beyond that, because you can see there's a drip edge right there. But yeah, I didn't keep going with the bricks because, like I said, I was getting into this thorn bush over here. And there's also a raised point right here. There's a little flower bed. This little flower bed is not allowing me to get all the way down to the bottom foundation of the actual bricks. Now you can see it over here. There's a little concrete block. Don't even really know what it's made out of. I haven't really looked at it. But that's what the blocks were sitting on. That's what the bricks were sitting on, is these blocks. And the foundation itself, it appears to be some sort of poured foundation. Maybe it was a block and they just went over it with something. It's really hard to tell, but it seems like it's solid, so foundation is decent enough right now. But look at this joist. They just ate right into it. This is some mad this is mad work, and I don't even know if I have enough scrap wood to cover these holes up, but I'm gonna do the best I can and cover the rest with plastic until I'll probably follow along this line. What I actually want to do is pry this up or remove this this bottom masonite board right here and get my plastic up underneath it. But I may not actually do that right now. I don't know, because I kind of want to go just on this level just to kind of protect the house for now. And then when it comes down to it, I'll wrap way up underneath as far as I can. That way when I put the next layer, when the siding actually gets replaced at some point, then the next layer will be on top and it'll overlap in the correct direction. So you always start at the bottom and then you lap them, just like the siding. So this one went on first, this one went on over it, so on and so forth. So that's how we're gonna do it. But when you see this, just don't freak out. Just understand that there's steps that can be taken and things can get done. You just have to take your time. And look at this wall right here. This wall that runs all the way down there. There's nothing underneath it. So this whole wall right here is literally supported by nothing. So structurally, that is not very sound. They didn't have a lot of codes when this house was built. If they did, they didn't follow them. It's fine. We'll just work our way around it. But what I am truly worried about is that this is hardwood floor underneath all this dirt and dust right here. This is hardwood floor. Now, if these termites, they got a little bit into the flooring, not too bad, hopefully not too far. But if they got into that hardwood flooring is scrap. And right now, that's what I'm hoping is not the case. This was the drip edge. I just tore that right off. And as you can see where the water was penetrating. It went right behind it in this part right here. And then it went to the backside and it rolled its way down. And that's where it used to be, right there. Just across that. Well, no amount of caulking or any sort of ghetto style protection is going to help that situation when this is not pitched correctly. And you can see that this is where it was not exposed, this is where it was exposed to the weather. And you can just see that the water just ran back and just got behind here and caused a lot of this damage. Well, the termites had a heyday because this wood was soft, wet, and they just did their thing. I mean, as you can see, you can clearly see termites or carpenter ants or whatever. They basically turn this into a cardboard flake. They turn it into cornflakes or something weird. But yeah, got my work cut out for me. And so far, this is the one side of the house that is the worst. The absolute worst. And also in the garage area, I'll just take you on a quick tour. And I can't even really get out there, but I'll just show you from this side. This is into the garage. And as you can see, there's shit in there, but the termites got so far up on the king stud, and there's two jack studs right here, and these hinge screws actually missed, which means the door is not very well held up. One screw out of two hinges is actually into the studs, and this one right here has been eaten away too. You can kind of see, and also you can see the tracks. There's just a lot of wood. Well, this is actually the outside. This is the outside 1x12 right here. So this is what's basically underneath this siding over here. So all these bricks, all of it's got to come off. But it's not an issue that the bricks have to come off because they're ugly. At one point that was a good style, but personally I don't like it. But as you can see, this is all hardwood floor from the 60s. So it's good hardwood floor, except for in a couple spots, you can kind of see where, I don't even remember where they were, but a couple of spots you can see where this is hollow. The bugs have gotten in here and gotten to it. And all along here, all this drywall, it had termites on the back side of it. So this whole entire wall might have to come down just to re-sheetrock it and check for more damage. But when it comes down to it, it's always better to be safe than sorry. And whoa, stood up, got a little dizzy. But like I said, a lot of damage. So, and I'm working with a very limited budget right now. In fact, my budget is 0. So this is just basically me trying to pull this one right out of my ass and make it work. But this is the wall right here. There's nothing underneath this wall, so this wall right here is not load bearing. And if it is load bearing, it's sure as hell ain't gonna take a lot of weight to collapse that sucker. This one right here would have to be load bearing because it's kinda under the ridge. I'm not sure if it's directly, I think the ridge is a little bit this way. So straight up is the ridge to the roof. And there is a little bit of sheetrock damage it's from this corner of the house actually pulling away because there's nothing underneath it. But all in all, we gotta do what we gotta do. And we gotta make it happen. But that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm gonna remove all these bricks all the way across, redo all this. And all the softening, whatever you want to call this, wood, softening, bird box, whatever. Drop my helmet. It's all water damaged. You can see it's all rotten. But that can wait. Not gonna touch it for now. Like I said, look at what I gotta deal with. So I gotta get to cutting some plastic and repairing some holes. So, catch y'all later.